Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Detroit Sports Sit Down. My name is Tom Murphy Jr. I've got Joe Perry and Dan Murphy here with me, and NFL football is back, and so is SOL. Oh my Lord. I don't even know where to start with this one. I mean, it's pretty obvious where to start. This is SOL. This is just such a classic Lions loss. The team that invents ways to lose found another way to lose. I'm really excited to do this podcast because I love talking football. What a depressing way to start the season. But what a familiar way to start the season. What a familiar feeling that was on Sunday afternoon. Football was back. Everything, the game was going great. The Lions were looking sharp. The Bears were being the Bears. Trubisky was being Trubisky. Lions break out to a 23-6 lead.
And then all gone, just like that in the fourth quarter.
All gone. And
like you said, it reminded us so much of last year, just SOL. That's all you can say about it.
It's not even last year. It's the
every
last
year.
50 years, man.
Yeah,
I'm only 40, but so
yeah.
Like, at least I didn't have those. But man, this team, I posted on social media right after, like, why, God? Why was I born a Lions fan? The amount of comments and reactions I got was crazy, man. Like, a lot of people were just sad for me, you know. They're just like, it's like sorry for your loss, pretty much, you know. Like they just know, like, because I've tried, you guys. I've tried before to, you know, like, jump off the bandwagon. You know, I'm not going to be a Lions fan anymore. I'm going to root for this team. You know, and I tried that, and it doesn't work.
I mean, can you do this? So I've taken this strategy. We talked about it last year, and I did it last year, and it was very helpful for me personally. Is just if you can try to not get emotionally invested into them until they prove it to you. Because they're going to do this. They're going to do this time and time.
As soon as they prove it, though, it's going to go right back at it.
But at least they give you. At least they would have proved it to you, though.
Yeah,
they give you a legitimate reason to get excited about them first. You know it's going to end in heartbreak, but at least they've proved it to you first. They didn't even give a chance to prove it to you yet. You went all in the first game. Like,
especially this year, like, you know, with this 2020, you know,
it's only
COVID.
one game, guys. You know,
yeah,
come on.
It's only they could turn the ship around.
Yeah,
you know, but that's what it is though. Like, this year is so different, you know, like, because Dan, like, me and you probably would have been at that game if, you know, we're always at the home opener. You know, we probably would have been there. So just imagine if we.
Good thing you didn't go. Just think how much money you would have wasted by going to that game.
Somebody would have had to bail me out of jail, probably. Man, I would have been so mad. But so at least there's that, you know, I wasn't actually at the game. But I mean, that's what it is, though, man. You blow a 17-point lead. You're up 23-6 in the fourth quarter, and you get outscored 21-0 with Mitch Trubisky throwing for 3 touchdowns, man, looking like Joe Montana out there. Now, granted, the Lions secondary already isn't that great, and then, you know, your top pick doesn't even suit up, and then you got Justin Coleman gets hurt, and then Trufant gets hurt too. Now look, how frustrating is that, man? Where you're one of your main free agent pickups, who probably got let go because of Atlanta because he's injury prone, gets hurt in the first game.
It's not surprising.
It's just it's not. And so these
but
things,
to counter that, though, you know, you got a bad secondary, right? You know, then you get into injuries. You don't have a lot of depth. That's where you got to depend on your front four and your front seven in general to be able to get pressure on the quarterback.
And
to force
what is
quick
the
throws,
deal with that? Why does Old Patricia just refuse to rush the quarterback? I don't
have a problem with coordinators that don't like to blitz a ton. I don't have a problem with that. But you damn well better have a ferocious front four. And they've had all this time. This is the third year of Patricia now. Patricia and Quinn have been together for 3 years. Quinn has been here longer than that, obviously. Like, you have to build a strong front four that can get after the quarterback in the way the NFL is now. They don't have it. They don't have consistent pass rushers that get after the quarterback. And if your secondary is as bad as it is right now, and you don't have a front four that can get after the quarterback, it's going to be a very long season again defensively.
Why do you need a front four like that when you have a tight end? You know, I mean, it's because of the drafting. It's because they don't draft these guys early in the draft. They go for luxury picks like a tight end instead of a defensive lineman that can get after the quarterback. I mean, that's part of the problem.
And it is. And now Hawkinson did have a good game.
Yeah,
and hopefully he can be that guy, that Travis
He's had
Kelce,
2 good games
that Kittle, type of tight end. But it's not going to matter unless you're putting up 50 a game. It's really not going to matter because we're giving up 40, 50 a game. This is what it's because if Mitch Trubisky can throw 3 touchdowns on you in the fourth quarter, guess what's going to happen when Aaron Rodgers comes your way and Drew Brees comes your way?
It's scary. It's scary. And that's why you kind of throw your hands up in the air like, oh my God, is the season over already? Like after that, after just what we've seen in week 1, it's like, it's depressing.
It really is. So,
especially to a team like the Bears. If it was a good team that came in here and kicked our butt, whatever.
If it was Rodgers,
yeah.
You're just like, Rodgers did it to us again. Oh my God, I can't. Aaron Rodgers, he just kills us. It was Mitch Trubisky.
Yeah, who
you just keep going
shouldn't
back to
have a job.
If
really.
not the worst quarterback in the league, he's in the bottom 5 starting quarterbacks.
Starting quarterbacks. There's no question. Mm-hmm. So, all right, man. So they did. So I do. All right. So Dan, going back to I am completely invested. I've decided. I've come to the point in my life where the Lions are my team. And I'm not. And I love football. So I'm gonna go in 100% every year and try to glasses half full. But I had one of. Now we've had a few. Obviously, we've been at games that were just mind-blowingly frustrating. I can think back to Monday Night Football against Baltimore when the kicker kicked 5 field goals and the last second field goal was from like 60 yards out, to beat us and I think knock us out of the playoffs. But
did he only have one foot too, that kicker?
Yeah.
No, there was a kicker.
Yeah, the Saints way back.
Tom Dempsey. I can think of the Packers game we were at when we got down 21-0, came all the way back to tie the game.
Took the lead
just to lose by 20 points.
Ended up losing by more points than they had originally came back from.
Yeah. Charles Woodson.
Never seen it in my life.
Yeah. Chuck Woodson had a pick 6, so at least I have that. Obviously, it was for the Packers, but at least that was something. But it just goes on and on, But this moment, man, I'll never forget it because, all right, so I was at work, but it was slow, so I was able to pretty much watch, almost the whole game. And we were definitely me and my co-worker John. We're both just watching, and we're watching. The Bears have already come all the way back, and we're super frustrated. We can't believe what's going on. Here it is. It's dagger time.
Oh God!
And here's Stafford just leading the team down, and I'm watching this, and I'm like, okay, we're overcoming adversity. Stafford is looking like a professional, the fourth quarter king. Yeah,
a couple years ago, maybe.
Yeah, and he's leading this drive down the field, and it's looking good. And then was like 6 seconds left. I'm like, he's gonna pull this off. Stafford's gonna pull this off. He drops back, throws an absolute dime to DeAndre Swift, our 2nd round pick, about to make his name as a Detroit Lion. Welcome to the NFL, kid. And the ball's right in his hands. And I leap in the air, and my momentum, I leapt so hard that my momentum turned me away from the TV. And all I hear is, "No, Tom, he dropped it." and it was like the world stopped. And I quickly turn around and I see the ball on the ground and I just dropped to my knees and I did one of the hands on your head like the kid from Michigan,
what the hell?
Just hands on my head, man, no. And there it was, man. That familiar feeling of just getting kicked right in the nuts by the Detroit Lions. And and that's what it is. And it's week 1, and we already got.
I know, we already feel like it's over the season.
I feel like the season's over. Everything's over now. Fire Patricia, fire Quinn, trade Stafford. The 2nd round pick, DeAndre Swift, he's a bust.
Cut him.
Cut the guy. Oh man. And my thoughts to you guys, and I know you kind of already said this, Dan, but I want you to really think about it, because from a fan base, if Swift does hold on to, and I'm not blaming this loss on him, it was a mistake. I don't even want to call it a rookie mistake or whatever. He just dropped the ball, but it happens. He's human, If Swift holds on to that ball and the Lions win that game, even though they gave up the 21 points, how different is the narrative of this season, of that game, of Stafford leading a comeback, them pulling it out in the clutch? How different would the narrative be if Swift holds on to that ball?
I don't think as much as you think, just because it was the Bears and it is Trubisky. We should beat them easily, I feel like, especially at home. I mean, I guess it's not a big home advantage now, but you are in a inside, which does, I think, benefit Stafford. I think a little bit because they won and they're 1-0 instead of 0-1, but it is still the Bears, and if you're winning it that close to the game against the Bears, you're probably not gonna go to the playoffs. At least that's how I feel.
Well, I think the general narrative across the fan base in general would be totally different. People would be saying, "Oh, Swift, look at him making a big play and a big opportunity, catching the game-winning touchdown. Oh, look at Stafford. Oh, and then you would be talking about dagger time. It wouldn't be a joke. It'd be like, oh, look at this. They really do this dagger time thing. Last second, come back and win. Oh, Stafford doing his thing." And instead, it's Swift drops it. And I was listening to Sean Baligian. He was doing the post game on the ride home, and he was saying, Swift's. He could have been remembered for making that game-winning touchdown, but instead he's always going to be he could be 5 years down the road. You're at a bar talking to a buddy. Oh, remember DeAndre Swift? Oh yeah, his first game, man, drops the game-winning touchdown. It was right in his hands, and he dropped it. Oh, that's the Lions for you. Instead of being that guy who's like, made that great play, he'll always be remembered for his first game making the game.
Are
Well,
you going to be lying?
I don't want to put the whole. Yeah, that's why I said after the game, I'm like, well, DeAndre Swift is officially a Lion.
Yeah,
but
welcome to the
But
Lions.
it's always going to be no matter what he does.
No, it does.
But no matter what he does, it'll always be
if he
part
ends
of
up being great, if he has a 5, 6, 7 year career and he's just running the ball and the Lions, things change and for the Lions and we win playoff games, nobody's ever gonna. I know. Excuse me.
What?
Are you feeling okay?
Yeah, I got a little fever, man. I don't know. Maybe I'm a little delirious, but I'm just saying, if things do change, look, that's going to be forgotten if his career goes well.
I don't. It's not. It won't be forgotten. Though. It's always a part of. It will
Well,
always be a part of his resume.
in
It'll be
there,
always a part of your memory of him.
Yeah, Lions
because his
Lord.
first game, the first real impactful play he ever had in the
Well,
NFL
hey,
was
listen,
dropping
man,
a game-winning touchdown.
I remember I was at a certain running back's first home game back in 1989, and he fumbled on the goal line, and the Lions ended up losing. His name was Barry Sanders.
Yeah, so, well, if DeAndre Swift has a Barry Sanders type career and ends up being the greatest running back of all time, then yeah, maybe it'll be forgotten.
And that would also be a
Top
Lions
5
thing,
yards.
wouldn't it? If he ends up being really good but never actually wins anything, that would also be a Lions thing.
Yeah, Stafford's in the middle of that right now.
He is. And you have to wonder,
you have to feel bad for him. At that point, I'm getting to the point where I just feel bad for him. I want him to get traded just because I think he's a good person, and he doesn't deserve this anymore. Yeah. He doesn't deserve to have to live through this and this be his entire career. I want him to go somewhere and have some, good experiences winning playoff games and being a part of a legitimate franchise.
How much of it is on Stafford though? Shouldn't he be more vocal in the media or more?
It's not his.
It's not his style.
Yeah, but
you never know.
I'm not going to put this on him.
Yeah,
he's not that type. He's not that type of guy, which is fine. He's good enough to be a championship level quarterback. He is. You put him on a legitimate franchise, he'll win playoff games. I'm not saying he's going to win Super Bowls. He could, but if you put him on a winning team, an actual franchise that knows what the hell they're doing, he can be extremely successful.
Yeah.
But he's a part of this, and there's so much to it. It's just a terrible franchise, but there's some just insane, whether it's a curse, whether it's just incredible bad luck. There's more to it than just it's a bad franchise. It is. It's inconceivable how many times they do this. It really is. It defies logic. It defies the odds.
And that's
how many times they do this.
Like the pain of the loss in that shocking moment when you. It's so familiar.
I'm numb to it.
It's such a familiar.
I'm numb to it. I've stepped away from it. I don't feel it anymore. I don't feel the pain anymore.
I don't blame you.
And I'm not. It's not that I'm Lions free. I'm not Lions free. I'm not one of those people. I support them. They're my team. I was wearing my Lions polo.
You're
wanted
more like
them.
Me now.
I've wanted them to win, but I can't emotionally invest in it. I've seen this too many times. I know how this movie plays out. I don't want to do it anymore. I just step back and watch it. I'm like, there it is again. I just kind of laugh at it. Just laugh at it.
Because after the first 5 minutes of the shock and it's like the 5 stages of grief.
Yeah.
It's kind of what I dealt with on Sunday. But very, very quickly. At what point is just acceptance where I just accept it. I accept the fact that this is my life. This is what's going to happen to me, and this is my fate, and I blame it squarely on my father. Why is it my father and yours too?
Yeah, but
why did my father? Why did he have to be a Lions fan?
Don't you blame it on Dan's father?
Yeah, it's my father.
Yeah. No, I did. I know,
but I stay with that. I'm not going to just start taking up another team and go Lions free and that, because I fully believe there will be a point in our lifetime where they do win a Super Bowl, and it will be something crazy. It will be like the Red Sox when they finally won the World Series and they had to come back from 3 games down and have all these 9th inning comebacks against the Yankees to finally get that World Series. It was like the best way they could have possibly finally lifted the curse and finally get that World Series championship. Like, you couldn't have scripted it any better.
Yeah.
Like, that's how the Lions are going to win a Super Bowl. It's going to be something crazy like that.
I told the guy at work, he said, they were talking about it, and he's like, I think the Lions will eventually win. I'm like, the Lions will eventually win, right? And 5 seconds left in the game, a big bomb will drop on Detroit or the United States, and the world will end. So I said, we probably don't want that to happen.
That's right. I had such big hopes for this year because it's so strange, and no fans can be in the stands.
Gotcha.
So I thought this is the perfect year for the Lions to just run the table.
Yeah, no one there to see it.
Win a home playoff game in shocking fashion, just for and nobody could be there to see it. We can see it on TV or whatever, but if all the season ticket holders, and all Dan, me and you, we go to at least a game a year.
No parade.
Not more. Yeah, no parade. I don't know. I don't think any Governor Whitmer. I don't think the National Guard could stop.
Really.
Like if the Lions won the
really
won the Super Bowl, man. If people would just be losing their freaking minds, man. And that's what it is, man. That's the thing about this fan base is. There's so many people angry right now, and we're always mad once things fall apart. But you give us a glimmer of hope, and we're all in. Because we just want it so bad.
Yeah.
Is the season already over after week 1? At what point do you start actively rooting for losses?
Oh, well, not at that point.
Is it time to sort of tank for? Like tank for Lawrence.
Well, yeah, unless it's more tank to lose Patricia. I think it'll be more if you want them to start. If you're going to start rooting for them to lose, it's because you want Patricia gone as soon as possible. Mm-hmm. But you can't start rooting for draft picks now.
Look though, why would you want Matt Patricia to not be this head coach? And Joe, you got a clip that we need to play, and Patricia explains it perfectly why he should be an NFL head coach.
Yeah, hey Matt. It falls a little bit on Justin's first question. Throughout really your tenure here, you've had fourth quarter leads and lost them. Is there something in your coaching that maybe isn't happening enough in the fourth quarter for you to close out games?
Yeah, I don't think so, Mike. I think I got probably one of the biggest plays in the fourth quarter in the history of the NFL where I think I did a pretty good job. So I don't think it's that. I think we all know what the individual games are. We got to do a better job. I mean, we've got a team right now that's different than the previous 2 years. This team is different. They're different players, and they have a different mindset. You know, we look, no excuses. Give the Bears credit. You know, they did what they did, and they executed, and they scored, and they won, and we didn't. But you know, I'm not looking back. We're looking forward, and we're trying to make sure that this team that we're building on, you know, understands these situations, and we got to come through better than what we did before.
Okay, all right. If you're not looking back, why the hell did you make that comment? And how about the fact that the guy on your sideline that you hired as an offensive coordinator made one of the worst decisions in Super Bowl history? And
yeah, was it you that made the best, or was it he made the worst call? I think it's more towards he made the worst call.
And just in case people aren't sure, this is the Super Bowl where the Patriots beat Seattle, where everybody in the world knew that Marshawn Lynch was going to get this ball and run it in, and Seahawks were going to win the Super Bowl. Instead, Bevel, the offensive coordinator of Seattle at the time, and now our coordinator, tried to be the smartest man in the room and made one of the worst play calls in the history of the Super Bowl. And Malcolm Butler jumped a route, made the pick. Patriots win the Super Bowl. I don't think that had much to do with Matt Patricia.
He's not looking back,
being a genius. And he's not looking back. He's looking forward, right?
How could one call, you know, you're saying because you made one good call to you, and you've had 3 bad years of the first year was a decent defense, but the last year was awful, was pathetic.
Yeah.
So you're saying just because you made one good call that you know what you're doing.
You've given up 11 fourth quarter leads in your
33 games.
Just the arrogance.
That's
the arrogance to say that. He's basically saying, how dare you ask me whether it's my fault that we're losing these games in the fourth quarter. That was basically how he responded. Yep. He got pissed off that it was asked him, like, do you need to change up how you're coaching in the fourth quarter? Well, obviously there's something wrong.
Yeah.
There's something wrong. Yeah, you bring up the 11 games. That's insane that they've given up 11 fourth quarter leads over the last 3 years. But just look at this game individually to give up 3 touchdown drives to Mitch Trubisky. Like, there's something wrong with your defense. You had the worst ranked defense last year. You come into this game, you give up 3 touchdown drives to Mitch Trubisky when you have a 17-point lead.
Yeah.
There's something wrong with your defense.
We no longer call it the fourth quarter, Joe. We call it dagger time.
Dagger time.
But we know where those daggers are going.
Yeah, right.
Right in the hearts of every Lions fan.
They could have picked a worse slogan, man.
I'm already ready to drop those shirts, man. Dagger time with a dagger going right into a Lions fan's heart.
That's good. That's good.
That's $1 million idea, man. But and that's what it is, man. Because I was a fan of. Okay, because I made the terrible mistake of thinking that the Lions were moving in a positive direction, things were going to start to change, because we got a little taste of the playoffs with Caldwell, but we weren't getting over the hump. And so I'm like, you know what? Okay, I get it. Move on with Caldwell.
Hey, we go from like a Rick Carlisle to we just need like our Larry Brown to come.
Yeah. And like you get the guy, like, you know, you get the Patriots defensive coordinator. You know, he wore the Goodell clown shirt, which I loved, you know, because, you know, screw Roger Goodell. You know, this guy, he's got rings. He knows how to win. He's been under Belichick, you know, and, you know, he's Bob Quinn's guy. And, you know, things are going to change for us, man. Oh, they changed, all right. Changed right back to the bottom, man. Like, oh. So now I am definitely on Team Fire Patricia. I'm
not on that team yet. I'm gonna give it a couple more games, but you know
why?
Well, because you never know. They could win 15 straight, Tom. I don't think it'll happen, but it could happen, right?
Well, I mean, yeah, it could.
I'm going to be there. And don't worry, I will be there.
Dan said it, man. He's like, this is arrogance. His arrogance and his stubbornness, it doesn't make sense at this point right now. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So,
they're all coaches, all of our coaches.
Just to answer the question like that, it's just,
What
How?
about
You
Schwartz?
would be mad at a
Schwartz the same
player.
way,
You would be
know?
mad if a player answered a question like that. But for the head coach to answer it like that,
And bring up
play 5 years ago from a team you're not even a part of anymore.
and everybody knows it was Brady and Belichick, man. People don't. A lot of people probably don't even remember that you were the defensive coordinator.
No one knows that he made a call on that play. No one's thinking of Patricia at all for that Super Bowl win.
None,
No.
except for him. He's him and Quinn, and probably just sit there every Sunday night, man. Man, remember when we were back in New England and we were winning? Hey, what the hell? Like, hey, do you think we can? Maybe we can get Belichick over here to be an offensive coordinator or something, you know?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Like what? I mean, what do these two guys got to be thinking, man? For one, I want to.
They're probably thinking, God, we're so close.
Yeah.
We're so close. We're right there. We just got to go over the hump. But we got the talent. We damn sure got the coaching. We know that.
Yeah.
We just need a little something to get over that hump. But we're so close. We're right there.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's what they're
We
telling.
got the GM and the coaching.
I'm
for
sure that's what they're telling. Martha Ford, Sheila Ford.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's what they're telling them.
So what is it? Okay, like I said, is the season over after week one? Like, it's week one. It's a whole football. Anything can happen, man. And this is the NFL, man. Like,
Exactly.
You pull the streak together. Now they got so what? There's three more games until the bye week. They go 0-4. Do you think
over.
there's a
chance?
I know.
I know it's over, but I mean for Patricia, it's over.
Do you
He's
think
gone.
the Lions brass will pull the trigger?
Absolutely.
I don't know, man.
Absolutely. They're 0-4. He's gone.
You really think so?
Absolutely.
And Quinn too? Is Quinn too? Or what did they? They're not going to get to blame COVID-19 and not having a preseason. You think they're already in
gone.
that year?
0-4. They're gone. They're gone.
You think that right then and there?
Absolutely. Yes. 0-4. They're gone.
Oh, I don't know, man.
I would be shocked if they're still here after.
I'd be
0-4.
shocked
If they're so the bye week is week 5.
I believe, yeah.
So yeah, 0-4 going to the bye week. Yeah, that'd be it.
I'd be very surprised. Now here we go though. Like, you don't even really know who's in charge right now, man. Like, as far as like the top.
Well, it's supposed to be Sheila. Right?
Yeah, well, yeah, but I mean, how much of her finger does she have on the pulse? Like, is she just gonna let this ride out and just have this be a whatever season because it's 2020?
Well, didn't they make? I think they might have came back on this, but didn't they make some type of mandate like they want to contend
they
for a
have to
playoff spot?
contend for a playoff
So
spot.
0-4. I mean, it's it. That's the season's over. So I got.
I guess they could go 0-4.
Well, we got the extra playoff wild card now spot.
You're not going anywhere at 0-4. It's over. You're throwing in the towel.
It could very easily happen. Looking at the schedule, I didn't realize.
What do you got there?
We got
next
Packers, Cardinals, and Saints.
Yeah.
What was Cardinals game here or
Arizona?
Yep, we never win down there. I couldn't tell you last time.
Well, we tied. Last year.
Oh, that's right, we did. That's still a loss to me.
Squeaked out that tie.
To me, a
when
tie
we
is
had
a loss.
lead.
A tie is a loss.
Yeah. All right. Oh, Dan, I honestly can't even believe you put this question on the show.
I have one.
Well, there actually are a lot.
Yeah,
I have one.
There are.
I have
After
one.
all that, we just had a funeral for the Lions.
If you watch the game film up to the end of the third quarter and don't watch any of the fourth quarter, there are a ton of positives.
All right. Well, let's bring some up, man.
My one was Adrian Peterson.
Yes.
Adrian Peterson
Yes.
looked very, very good. I was very shocked.
That's a Bob Quinn move. Now, is that like?
Yeah, 30-plus running back. That's your
He looked like he was 25.
He did.
Because he's
he
Adrian
looked good.
Peterson. He's a freak of nature, man. Like,
Yeah, I was shocked on how good he was picking those holes.
Oh, and his cuts. I mean, he looked fantastic.
I wasn't shocked at all.
Breaking
I was
tackles.
So excited.
Yeah.
I was shocked that Washington let him go. I wasn't shocked at all at the way he performed. This guy's. He's like Herschel Walker. Like, Herschel Walker right now, I think he's 60. If you look at him, he could probably get 10 carries for 50 yards. And I think Adrian Peterson's going to do this, man.
Well, it's funny because I told you guys before the show that I bet a guy at work before the season started was like, yeah, Adrian Peterson. He's like, I bet you he gets 1,000 yards this way. And I laughed at him. I was like, yeah, right. I won't take that bet all day. Now I'm kind of nervous, He got almost 100 yards and he looked good.
The guy's incredible, man. He's an absolute machine. He's a professional. Man, I don't know. He who comes back from a torn ACL and like.
What was your other
like
positives,
6
Dan?
weeks? Oh yeah.
Well,
sorry,
that was
yeah.
the main one was Adrian Peterson, but
That's the only one I could think of.
Hawkinson looked really good too.
Yeah.
Doc, yeah.
And the fact that
He did that last year, though.
the fact
so.
that Adrian Peterson looked that good, they went over 100 yards rushing, total, and they did that without Kenny Golladay. So if you can imagine if Adrian Peterson can run like that consistently, and then you add Kenny Golladay to the mix, it can be a really good offense.
Yeah.
We're not going to touch the defense right now, but it can be a really, really good offense. You add Kenny Golladay back into that. Mm-hmm. I mean, they really miss Golladay. They really miss Golladay in this game because Marvin Jones just isn't that type of receiver that's going to take the top of the defense. He doesn't scare defense. He's a nice second receiver, but he's not a number one. Yeah. And you take Golladay out of that, and it just really hurt them because they couldn't get those deep throws on the field. And if the way Peterson was running, they would have really opened up the play action game. Yeah. Got Golladay one-on-one. Golladay could have had a big game, so they really missed him. So that's one. It's not. I mean, it's a positive the fact that he didn't play, but you saw what the offense can do. Now, Golladay do that.
Yeah,
I like
the offense could be really good.
Another positive to the offense is Cephas, the wide receiver.
Yeah, he stepped up.
Mid-round pick. He slipped in the draft, but the kid was solid in college, and looks like he might be good.
You're really pulling for something, aren't you, Tom, over there?
No, I did because I liked that pick.
Oh, because he can be a player for him.
And I like him. Yeah.
No, I meant other stuff. I thought you were looking up other stuff. Like what else can I find that the Lions were good at?
What else? Is there anything? But there is. But you're right, and that's why I don't think the season is over because we do got a nice offense.
But it's the same thing as it was last year. I mean, the first 7 games, they were still, even when they had Stafford, they went 3-4. I know we can talk about the Kansas City game, and how it was the greatest loss ever,
the greatest
and then the Green Bay game, they got screwed.
That's the greatest almost win ever. Yeah. Say it right. Like that wasn't even a loss. That was an almost win.
Almost win.
I still got to get my banner.
Yeah. We almost beat the Super Bowl champs. Yeah, I mean, honestly, though, but Dan, no, you said there was a bunch of them, a bunch of positives.
Yeah, well, basically Hawkinson, Adrian Peterson, and the fact that you're adding Kenny Golladay back into this offense.
Hopefully.
Okay. That's not a bunch. That's more of a few, I would say. But
it's really just the offense in general.
Yeah.
We kind of expected that, though, this year. We expected the offense to be good. We were just kind of worried about the defense, and we still are worried about the defense.
The offensive line, and if there's one thing the Bears have, I mean, they got a solid front 7, and the offensive line held up for the most part.
Yeah, they weren't awful.
Yeah, they did. They weren't awful, so that's a positive.
Yep.
God, yeah, that's pretty much it, though, man. That's pretty much all I got for the positives. What
about some other positive things in the NFL that happened?
Yeah, man. Let's kind of move. Yeah, let's move off these Lions and think about some things because I watched a decent amount of football, man, and it was fun, man. There was some surprising results this week. Some guys that really played well. Some guys that disappointed. That you thought were going to do better.
One guy that I thought that played really, really well, that I was surprised, and that was, of course, that first game that on Thursday was David Johnson. He really looked like himself a few years ago, where he could catch the ball, he could run the ball. He really surprised me on how good he looked for Houston.
Yeah.
So I was really shocked on how good he looked, and that he actually will probably have a pretty good year this year as long as he stays healthy, which is another concern for him. But I liked.
Well, Joe. That's a concern for any running back at any time.
That's true.
Running backs are the most used and abused, chewed up and spit out position that there is. And David Johnson, he kind of came on the scene out of nowhere, really.
Yeah.
Back in Arizona, and now he's part of one of the most shocking trades that you probably ever see. Getting traded for DeAndre Hopkins.
I'm going to jump in with that too. I watched the game. I thought David Johnson did look good, and it was nice to see. But the biggest thing I took away from that was holy cow, do they miss DeAndre Hopkins? Mm-hmm. It's nice to have David Johnson for sure, but man, you take DeAndre Hopkins. He had such a good connection with Deshaun Watson, and man, they really had a good thing going with those two. And to take Hopkins away from that team, you could really see it. They just didn't have the downfield
They weren't
threats.
just going to pay him, that's why.
Yeah, but,
I
man,
think
why
there's
not?
some bad
though?
blood between
Why?
the coach,
Yeah.
too.
Yeah,
and,
maybe
A
that's
little bit
part
of
of
that, too, but he wanted to he got his extension, and they weren't going
Yeah.
to give it to him. But you said, like you
But
said,
why
it might
wouldn't
have been.
you?
Well,
why
had-
wouldn't
I don't
you?
get
Why
it either.
wouldn't you
because they
keep
had to
that
choose-
connection?
They
I don't
basically
know.
had to choose between, are we going to pay the
Oh,
quarterback or are
Watson
we going to
or
pay
him,
wide receiver?
yeah.
And that's the thing about this NFL, man. You get that where you got to decide. The stars are getting the big money, but you got to pay 53 guys. Well, more than that. Like, where the salary cap is at, you got to pick and choose.
Yeah,
who
who to pay.
you're going to
You
get
got
the
you
big
got to
money
realize
in.
that though. That's why the good GMs they're so good. You got to figure that out. Like you got to find a way to keep Watson and
Yeah,
Hopkins together.
Yeah.
You can't
So-
get rid of a number 3 talent. One of the top 3 players in the league at a spot.
Yeah.
And I
You
just
can't get rid of those
I just
players.
love Hopkins. I went down to Tennessee last year and I watched the Tennessee against Houston game, and I was up close watching Hopkins live, and to see him run routes is
Oh, yeah.
something, man. He is just incredible.
Yeah.
Just
Well,
incredible.
what do you think Arizona doesn't when Kyler Murray gets off his rookie contract and you still got that monstrous contract with this extension? With
They'll
Hopkins?
figure it out.
Well, and that's the game in the NFL right now. You get the young star quarterback and hope that he can pan out while he's on his rookie deal.
Yeah,
and
pay
you
other
build
people.
you build around him. But again, NFL not for long.
Then they just hold out and
Look at
then
the
you're
Rams
screwed.
now, man. The Rams went all in, and they had all the pieces to the puzzle, and then they came, this close to winning that ring, and now look at they're kind of falling apart. Now they beat Dallas, and they really didn't look that bad with golf, but they, they put all their eggs in certain baskets, and it didn't work out. And then last year they really fell off.
I mean, only one team wins
Not
a
a-
year, and it's in the
Yeah.
NFL, like you said, not for long. So your guys are only there. You just have to get everything to mesh. We've talked about other sports too. You just got to get everything to mesh at once in order to
But
win a
that's
championship.
the way the NFL is now, though. If you have a stud quarterback and then you can get another top 5 receiver to go along with them, you got to lock those guys up, and then have a ferocious defensive line to try to stop those other teams that had those quarterbacks and receivers,
Yep.
and then you just do the best you can around all that.
Yeah.
But you got to have the stud quarterback, a stud hookup, and a ferocious defensive line. That's the NFL now. If you got those two things, a ferocious defensive line and a hookup with the quarterback and the receiver, you got a chance. I mean, that's what the Chiefs did. I mean, they got Mahomes and they got Hill. And then they also got Kelsey, a tight end, to go along with
And
it.
how about Sammy Watkins actually outperformed all of them.
He did that last year.
But that's the thing. Like
Yeah.
they were able to get Sammy Watkins. They're not paying him a ton.
Well, yeah,
and they
he's
got
coming off
they got a
injury,
couple
yeah.
other nice, speed
quick,
receivers that they
yeah.
were able to get in the draft. Like that's how you
And
build a
then
team. now.
I know the guy you like. Speaking of the Chiefs and running backs, man, the kid Hilaire.
Clyde, Edwards Hilaire.
Yeah. Oh man,
Yeah,
he looks good. He looked good at LSU, but he looked real good. He's going to fit real nicely in that offense.
Yeah, I
man.
liked watching
Where they
both
get
those
him? I
running
mean, they
backs.
got him. Last pick in the
And
first
how
round.
come, man? Why do the rich get richer? And
Because of devalue of runring backs. That's why. That's why they're
yeah,
sitting
but
there
it's
that
like, how
way.
come the Chiefs get that though? Why them? Because you had Kareem Hunt, who was the man, and then obviously the controversy in the video and all that, and they just let him go, and in a blink of an eye, they got a Super Bowl ring, and then come off and get one of the next elite running backs.
Well, he's elite because of
the
where he
team.
is.
Yeah, okay.
If you put him on, like a team like, I don't know, like Jacksonville or something, right?
Yeah.
He's not gonna perform like that.
Yeah.
But you put him on, with Mahomes in that passing game, all of a sudden holes are gonna open up
Because
like
there's
crazy.
there's only so many. You can't. There's only so many.
They got so much
places
speed
you can
on that
cover,
team.
yeah.
You got to keep guys
Account
back
for
so
all
you
of
don't.
that.
He looked great. Don't get me wrong; it was a great pick, and he's going to be great for them. But he doesn't look like that if he's on a team that's at the bottom of the barrel.
A bad old line and,
Yeah.
and all that, yeah. And a team that gets down because the Chiefs they don't get down, or I mean sometimes they do and they come
Yeah,
back.
they did in the playoffs,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
they come
oh.
roaring back.
God, you ain't kidding about that. What I'm saying is they got a balanced offense and they can use a balanced offense pretty much throughout the whole game.
Yeah.
Whereas some teams, you get behind, now you got to pass. The running game pretty much goes out the window. But it's just frustrating, man. because you won the Super Bowl, and now you got
to compare it to the Lions.
He might be the rookie of the year.
Compare it to the Lions. The Lions got DeAndre Swift just a few picks later.
Yeah.
And look how he looked in the first game compared to
A lot of people
Hilaire.
said that Swift was the number one back coming out, out this year.
He still might be.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't put it all in one game. But just to see how one performed with the Chiefs and the other one performed with the Lions, that just kind of goes back to what I was saying. Sometimes it's just a team you go to.
Yeah.
So, all right, so Joe, like you said, you started out with David Johnson. You notice he had a good. You think Houston is going to keep? I think Houston's a good team.
They're a good team. They played the Chiefs, so I mean, they'll be up there. He'll have a really good.
That's
year.
what I'm saying. You think David Johnson?
I think
you got a prediction. You think David Johnson's going to be the David Johnson of a couple years ago?
Yeah, I really
have
do.
A good year?
Just watching him move, he was finding the holes. He was quick. He catches the ball like he always has. So I just feel like he's going to be, maybe top 10 running back in the NFL shares, which no one
that'll be a good steal if you got him on your fantasy team, because I know you didn't draft him in the first round.
Yeah.
Like he was, God, wasn't he? Was it 2 years ago? He was everybody's top pick.
And then the wheels fell off.
Yeah, literally, man.
Yeah.
All right, Dan, what was your big thing?
So the big thing I saw around the NFL is Cam Newton. I along with I think a lot of GMs really didn't know what Cam Newton had left, where he was at this point.
I was surprised with why,
Yeah, but it took a long time for anybody to sign him. And of course it was the Patriots. And I'm like, man, is he going to start? Is he going to be the starting quarterback? Sure enough, he was. And he looked fantastic. Yeah. I mean, the Belichick this is why he's the greatest coach ever. That franchise completely revamped their offense to cater to his strengths. They cater to his strengths, hit his weaknesses. He doesn't have the deep arm like he used to have, but man, can he run the football? Mm-hmm. And they formed an offense around a running quarterback, which obviously they haven't had for 20 years. Going with Brady. So it's a completely different offense. And they look great. They control the ball. They play more of a defensive style. Yeah. And Cam Newton looked great for what he can do. And it was interesting to see how well Cam Newton fit with what they were trying to do.
And god dang, did he not look good walking into to the stadium. Did you guys see this banana yellow, this sharp yellow suit? Yeah, I couldn't believe it, man. But this guy, he's Cam Newton, man. He's got swagger. And if you didn't notice, man, all off season, this guy's putting out Instagram videos of just being a monster, you know. And I knew because I've always been a Cam Newton fan.
I've always liked Cam Newton too.
I have too, man. I was, and actually the one time that I denounced the Lions and said I'm no longer a Lions fan, I picked the Carolina Panthers, and it was the year that Cam took them to the Super Bowl. And again, I felt nothing. So, but I did it. I picked that team. The colors are similar, and also a lot because of Cam Newton. Man,
Panther and a lion are pretty similar.
Panthers, Lions, the colors are
both
similar.
the same family.
Yeah, Carolina's got nice weather, So if I ever move, Carolina might be a destination. I don't know. There's a lot of different reasons going into that pick that I made, but a lot of it was because Cam Newton, and he's a fun quarterback to watch. And this guy has heart, dude. This guy just wants to win. And then I had a really strong feeling that he was going to do great wherever he went after Carolina, because he's pissed off. He's pissed off that he's not done playing yet, and yet the Carolina Panthers thought he was. Mm-hmm. And he's like, well, guess what, MFers? I'm going to show y'all. I'm going to show y'all what Cam Newton's all about. And I will not be surprised if the Panthers, Patriots make a move this year, man. I don't know. I mean, I'm not calling. I don't think they're going to win a Super Bowl or nothing. But
it's going to be them and the Bills for that division.
Yeah,
for sure. I mean, I'm not going to go crazy. It was the Dolphins. The Dolphins haven't been great, but it was just interesting to see how much that offense changed, and it's just I love seeing when coaches don't get stuck in their ways. Like,
Yeah.
this is our offense. This is my offense. This is how I've always ran it,
That's
and
how
it's got to
they've
be
always
this
done
way.
it,
I
though.
don't care what your strengths are, what your weaknesses are. Like, you got to adapt to me and my
Yeah.
coaching philosophy and my play.
Is that a personal shot at somebody in Detroit?
Oh, man, Patricia?
That's most coaches. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it is true. They've always done it. They've always catered to their players and found out what their strengths are and then built their offense and defense around their players. And they've always done that. And I'm really I hate the Patriots because they always win.
Yeah.
But I am glad
You have to
Cam
respect
went
them.
there. Yeah, I do respect him for sure. I'm glad that Cam went there because I like Cam and I want to see him win.
And what was interesting, you mentioned, Cam with this crazy suits and his outfits and stuff like that. Usually that's not, a Patriot way type way.
Yeah,
Like
that's
they're
true,
letting
yeah,
him kind
yeah.
of be. I'm sure they talked to him a little bit, but they're letting him be himself, which is
Yeah.
good to see too.
They have to, because look, the guy's got mad respect. He's been in the league for 10 years now. I don't know exactly, and I'm sure that was talked about too. Because the Patriot way and all that. But Cam's going to be Cam, and you got to let him. But he's never. You never hear him in the
he never
news,
says anything disrespectful or
He's,
anything. It's just-
he's not getting arrested. He's not beating his wife. He's flashy, but that's what got him this far in life,
Yeah.
So you got, and especially now, man, he's got to have the most swagger he's ever had because he's got something to prove. Not only does he have to prove that he's still capable of winning in this league, he's coming into the Patriots after 20 years and 6 Super Bowls of Tom Brady. What a position to be in, man. What a pressure-filled position to be in.
It's really fascinating. Like, I love storylines, and it's the ultimate storyline. It's who's going to win? Who's going to do better, Belichick or Brady?
Yup. And that leads me to...
He has been in the league for 10 years.
It was 10 years? Yeah.
Yeah, so that was a good call, Tom.
Yeah. All right, so that leads me to my topic. Is the flip side of this, what is going to be a running story all year, is the Tampa Bay New England connection. Was it Belichick? Was it Brady? How is this going to play out? Now, I'll tell you, it's unfair for Brady at this point because he has 20 years in the league. And
He's 43,
and he's the one going to a new team where Belichick is with New England.
Belichick's way older, though, than Brady.
Yeah.
He's way older, man.
Yeah, Belichick don't got to put the pads on, though. But that's what I'm saying, though. So Belichick, he's in New England. So if New England is successful this year and Tampa Bay is not, one narrative is going to be, it was Belichick, and this year is going to go. It's going to be like a measuring stick for these guys for who was the greatest, who was it all about. Which, in all honesty, it doesn't matter, man. It was both of them. They caught lightning in a bottle together, and they had a great dynasty. This is this is Joe Montana going to the Chiefs type of thing, like
Manning going to Denver.
Well,
I feel like it's going to be the same.
Yeah.
I really
You
do.
think Brady's going to win a Super Bowl with
Next
Tampa?
year. I feel like he's going to have a good year this year, and then
And have a full off season next year.
not be as good, but the team will be better. And
but the team,
That's
so
my
this year, obviously,
philosophy on
a
that.
lot of new things came in. They just got Leonard Fournette off of the waivers. So you got Leonard Fournette for his great. I think that kid got screwed, by the way. He should have been able to leave college football as a freshman and get drafted number 1. And I bet his career would be a lot different right now. But they got Fournette. You got Evans. You got Godwin. O.J. Howard. Now, I didn't. I drafted Gronk. I thought maybe there'd be some of that Gronk Brady magic.
There might be still.
Oh, I don't know, man. Gronk, he looks slow and old, man. Slow, old, and uninspired. So I don't know if Gronk's even going to be a factor in that offense.
O.J. Howard's the better of the two.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, no doubt.
Gronk might get a lot of tight end or targets in the red zone.
Yeah.
But he probably is not going to play a lot of snaps.
Yeah.
But he'll get those red zone targets at least.
Yeah. So I guess what I'm saying, what I really noticed was that, for this situation, the Belichick-Brady split situation, Belichick won round one. That's for
Yeah.
sure.
But to be fair, the Patriots are going against the Dolphins, and Brady and the Buccaneers were going against the Saints.
Yeah,
So that's a
difference.
big difference.
Big difference.
Yeah, for sure. The Saints defense is unreal
But
too.
Brady didn't look good. And how about I don't know if you guys caught this. I noticed this like some post game quotes from Bruce Arians, the head coach of the Bucks, and then today he kind of even followed up with it. He kind of called out Brady. It wasn't like.
I think it was just
brutal
what
stuff,
happened on those
but-
plays, and he said, he basically just said it was Brady's fault.
Yeah. He and it was weird. I guess I don't know for to hear Tom Brady get called out. Maybe that's just a coaching thing. Like, hey, like maybe light a fire under his ass or something. I don't know. I thought it was interesting though. I wonder how Brady's going to react to that. I wonder how he's going to react to the Week 1 loss. How much do you think Brady cares about what's happening in New England this season? Is there going to be any focus on his mind on that? Like
Very
he spent
little.
20 years in
Very
that
little.
organization.
I think it's
and
one
that
of those
legacy thing and all that.
Yeah.
Like,
I think it's one of those things where he'll check the scores, but I don't think he's gonna sit there and dwell on it too much. He's got way too much that he's got to deal with right now. Like he's not. I think it's just something where he'll check. Oh, hey, yeah, Patriots won. Because I see he's got a ton of friends over there. He played with them for 20 years, so he's still going to kind of keep an eye on what they're doing. But he's not going to be dwelling on it. He's not going. I don't think he's going to make it. It's not going to be a big part of the day or anything like that. And what the Patriots do.
Yeah, for sure.
Just talking about some of the things that we really saw Week 1 that really stick out, and this is something that really does stick out for me is how this Brady Belichick split is going to play out, because Tampa Bay is a good fit for Brady because they got a solid defense, a lot of weapons on offense, more weapons probably right now than Brady's. I don't know if he's ever had.
In a while.
By far.
Had in a while.
Like the weapons he does have right now.
Probably since when he had Randy Moss.
They said it's even better than that. But yeah, that is the last time that he even had. Someone did a rating on it. I forget what it was, but it's by far more talent he has on this team than he's ever had.
Yeah. So how's it going to work? And then if it doesn't work in Tampa Bay, can Tom Brady's legacy be ruined at this point?
No, he's 43.
Can whatever he does in Tampa Bay, is that just going to have no effect at all? Like, this is just a cherry on top, and if he does good in Tampa Bay at all, it's just...
He can add to it, but he's not going to diminish.
It's never going to be... Like if Tampa Bay goes 0-16...
Well, yeah, that's
I'm
obviously...
just saying.
Obviously, something crazy like that, yeah.
If
it's historically bad...
What are they going to say, though, if that happens?
But that's not going to... I mean, let's be realistic. That's not going to happen. They didn't look that bad. They were playing a Super Bowl contender in their house. I mean, I know it's COVID. There wasn't any fans, but still, you're still on the road. And... I mean, he made some good throws. It's not like they look terrible. They got to fix some things. He's on a new team. It's a new offense. They got to make some corrections, which they will. Like they're still going to win their 9 to 10 games. Like there's no doubt in my mind.
Yeah.
They're going to be fine. They're not going to be like 5-11 or anything like that. They're still going to be a solid team. They got to a bad start against a really good team.
Mm-hmm.
So being a Brady fan, because he's a Wolverine, so we always got a little soft spot in our heart for Brady. Do we want to continue to see him do good? Or I know because there's a lot of people that hate success in the NFL.
I don't.
It's not your
I respect him, and I like to see it.
But I'm saying, do people around the league want to see him fail? Do you think people will get joy in seeing Tom Brady fail because he's won so much?
Some people, but I think the majority of people respect how good he is. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he's the best ever. You got to respect that no matter who you are, who you like, where you're from. If you're a football fan, you got to like someone that's done what he's done. Yeah. And if you don't, then you're not a football fan.
Yeah. And I like seeing stars be stars. I want to see Tom Brady do well, and I want to see big-time matchups. I want to see when they match up with the Saints again down the road that it really matters. Yeah. And it's Brady against Breeze, and then they play out in Tampa. I want to, you want to see the big-time players play to a big-time level. It just makes it more enjoyable. It's better television.
My final thought about the week in the NFL was just the fact that, all right, in this crazy world that we're living in right now, and this 2020 and all that's coming with it, getting football back in it and watching it on TV, it looked good to me, right? I thought the broadcasts were good. Like all of it. Now I didn't watch every game, obviously, but I watched a lot of football this weekend, and it was entertaining. It was football to me. It was NFL football. I thought the quality of play was good. Except for the Lions in the fourth quarter, but
if they had a couple preseason games, they would have stopped them.
Yeah, you know that. Mm-hmm. Or if Matt Patricia had Malcolm Butler, maybe.
No, I do know what you mean, though. It doesn't seem like there did seem like there was preseason games. Is that what you're trying to say? Like,
no,
it almost just seemed like normal football.
That's what I'm saying. Like it was normal football. Like I didn't really notice that fans weren't in the stands. I didn't really notice that there wasn't a preseason, and I was pleasantly surprised at the football that I watched this weekend because it felt like normal football.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm happy. I'm happy that football's back, and oh God, I want to go to a game. Perhaps I'm going to have to drive down to Kansas City or
good luck getting in a game there.
I know. Yeah. You got to be I think the rule was you had to be at the Super Bowl in 1960 something to get a ticket in Kansas City, or at least your grandpa had to be there. I don't even know how that worked, man, because those fans in Kansas City they sell out every game. They're wild out there. As far as how that goes, I wonder. I would like to know what the restrictions are. You could probably look this up, but how come some teams are going to get to have fans and some aren't?
It depends on your
state to state.
Yeah,
the
governor. Yeah,
but shouldn't the NFL be an all or nothing thing?
No,
you why is it fair that one team gets to have fans and one team doesn't?
They're not going to say don't make money. It's an opportunity to make money. Yeah. They're not going to say, hey, I know your governor said you can have 20% capacity, but these other teams can't, so we're not going to use this opportunity to make money. Like, the NFL's never going to say that. No company's ever going to say that. They're not going to turn down an opportunity to make money.
From a competitive standpoint,
it's not
around the league.
It's not like you're sold out.
You don't think it makes a difference?
You heard the crowd cheering in the Lions game.
Oh, Ford Field was rocking, man. That's
kind of weird too, because there was an injury. There was an injury on the field, and the crowd was still cheering. I was kind of turned off by that. I'm like, what's going on?
It was funny how it get louder after the play. If they did something good, it was like. I told my wife. I think she thought there was people there, but
now what I didn't hear, I didn't notice, and I'm sure it didn't happen, but it should have. Was just a chorus of boos, like for the Lions, after every Mitch Trubisky fourth quarter touchdown.
Because they did say that they were taking recordings from the fans, so that Lions fan have boos, so they got to have recordings of it.
Oh yeah, there's a lot. Oh man,
because they said they actually recorded the last 4 years, and they're using individual recordings for each stadium, which is kind of weird, but.
So I don't, so I guess that's what I'm saying. So guys, did you guys see the same thing as far as the football that you watched?
Yeah.
Did it feel normal?
Yeah, no more preseason games. Don't need them. Not necessary.
Yeah,
I think one. I think one.
I agree, one or two. Maybe one for the bad, not the bad guys. The guys trying to make the team. Yeah. So one where no one plays at all, but then
especially
maybe
when
one
you got
for
90 guys on the roster, you're not going to find all that out. Give them one preseason. Two. I've been cool with two. 4 is way too many. I've been saying that for years. I would much rather have 2 preseason games in an extra or an 18th week in regular season.
Yeah, screw that. One at the most. Fine, one. Don't play your starters. It's a battle for those last guys, those last spots. It was clear. We don't need it. We don't need 4 preseason games.
Yeah, that's absolutely clear. And thinking about the injuries that
guys need full camps. They need full training camps for sure. Because you're going to start seeing some injuries. You're seeing a lot of hamstrings. That's the big injury. You're going to start seeing a lot of. It's a lot of hamstrings. But you need a full training camp. But you definitely don't need 4 preseason games. I would say you don't need any. But if you want to have one, fine, have one. But colleges don't have preseason games.
Yeah, they do.
No, they don't.
Well, they
They're softballs.
I mean, sometimes they are
hey.
softballs, but a lot of times,
Hey.
where Michigan would start
Yeah.
off with Notre Dame.
Yeah, that's true.
You don't
They
go
did-
right
they did
into
start
it.
And
Notre
it ain't
Dame. Or even,
it ain't preseason when you lose to Appalachian State and your whole season's over.
I thought we didn't bring that
I'll
up.
tell you that. Oh yeah. I try not to, but that was not a preseason game. I get what your point was, though. You know,
Sometimes you schedule cupcakes. I get that, but sometimes you don't. Like you're still getting right into a game that matters. You know?
Yeah, because we played Florida first. Michigan played Florida.
Yeah.
I remember they played.
game.
They played They were supposed to play Washington the first game at Washington. That was
God, man, that would have been a bar setter to see where Michigan was at this year, wouldn't it? But yeah, so all in all, kicked in the nuts by my favorite team, who I'm never going to be able to disown. I'm just mad as hell again, but
good to have football back.
But it's good to have football back, and it looked to me on TV. It looked normal. I enjoyed watching it. I think the players competed. I don't even want to get into like the politics and stuff and all that, but because I mean that's going to be a storyline all year. For me, you know, I was just glad to see the players on the field playing football. I don't know. I'm just glad football's back. I really am, and I hate the Lions, but I love them. So what I wonder about you guys is, would you put your money on the Lions next week?
Do you ever put your money on the Lions? I mean, come on.
I did week 1, and I was looking good for 3 quarters. I was looking like this. I was like Matt Patricia. I'm the smartest man in the room for 3 quarters, man. Oh,
Did you throw around like 5 years ago? I had this bet, man. I had this bet, man. No one thought they were going to win. No one thought it was going to happen. I put all this money on the line, and I won. It was the best bet anybody's ever seen.
I lost $10 million after that, but that one bet, I won a lot of money.
I mean, I had to sell my house since then, but 5 years ago, I had that bet, man. I'm telling you, it was amazing.
All right. Well, Dan, if you want to capture the magic of 5 years ago when you had that great bet, you should do it with MyBookie. Now, look, winning seasons are coming back for some people. Maybe not the Lions. Probably not. If you want to put your money in the right place, go to MyBookie, mybookie.com. It's time to celebrate the NFL season, man. We are here.
We're celebrating.
It's football time, and what better thing to do than gamble while you're watching football, man? Like, put a little sauce on it. You know what I'm saying? Look, if you go to mybookie.com right now, you can sign up, make your first deposit, you get a $1 for $1 match all the way up to $1,000. Grab yourself a free entry into the famed MyBookie Super Contest. To play in this contest, all you got to do is pick 5 NFL games against the spread to have a chance at $100,000 guaranteed in cash prizes. The best part is MyBookie has thousands of bets to choose from. The full NFL slate, the NBA playoffs, from live betting to the championship futures. Every play you want to make is waiting at MyBookie. It's simple. Make your picks, win big, collect your cash. Now listen, you guys. If you use the promo code
The Sit Down
and double your first deposit right now, it's a no-brainer. Again, if you use the promo code
The Sit Down,
you will double your first deposit now. Oh, man. It sounds like a good bet to me.
hey, free money, man.
Free money.
Never turn down free money.
Look, your winning season begins today. Just like our Lions. Our Lions' winning season begins today. Not last week, but today. Look, you guys. Go to mybookie.com. It's the best place to sports gamble. And go get that cash. And don't bet on the Lions. Do not bet on the Lions. The Lions are only getting 6 points. They probably need about 17 at least. So please do not bet on the Lions.
But don't bet
week.
against them either, because you know they'll screw you.
Well,
They're going to find a way to screw you one way or the other.
Yeah. If you do bet on them, don't bet against them.
They're guaranteed they'll be down 10 and get some late touchdown.
Yeah, there's
screw you.
15 other games out there, so you use those.
Maybe just stay away from the Lions this season, which I should have done 40 years ago.
Your Dan's dad's fault, man.
Yeah, Dan, Oh, your dad. Your father. It's your father. Oh, he's my father too, and I love him. I just hate him sometimes for making me a Lions fan. There's a picture out there. I think I was about 1.5 years old, and I'm sitting there on the couch with my dad, and it's one of those 1970s like floral printed couches.
They had cameras back then?
Well, I think it was a Polaroid or something. Remember when the picture shot out right out of the camera? It was one of those, man. It's me sitting there, smiling, wearing my little Lion shirt, sitting next to my father. I'm pretty sure they lost in the fourth quarter, you know. And that was it, man. That set the tone. So I'm telling you guys, when I tell you this isn't my fault, this isn't like I was born into this, man. I didn't have a choice. So I have accepted that. Now, Dan, I don't understand how you have like, and I think you say that. I don't think you really mean it though.
Dude, I wasn't. I'm being honest. I was not emotionally invested. I supported them.
I don't believe you.
I refuse to be emotionally invested until they prove it to me and give me a reason to put my investment into them.
Could you ever just drop the Lions completely and pick another team?
No. Oh, let me say this. Okay, I was actually thinking about this. Now, I don't want to add another topic to this podcast, so we'll make this quick. But I was thinking about this, right? So there is a second team that I would consider rooting for, and that's the Jacksonville Jaguars, because I freaking love Tony Khan, the owner, okay? Because he brought wrestling back, weekly good wrestling back with AEW, so I love the guy, all right? So he owns the Jacksonville Jaguars, him and his father. So if Matt Stafford, let's say next season everything falls apart, Patricia gets fired, Quinn gets fired, and they decide to trade Stafford, and he got traded to Jacksonville, I would seriously consider being a Jacksonville Jaguars fan.
And not a Lions
and giving
fan.
up the Lions.
What would you do with all your Lions gear?
Why, my one polo that I got?
What about all the pictures that we have hanging up on our walls? What about the family parties that we get together and watch the Lions?
You can still watch them.
Yeah.
You still watch football, right?
But you're not allowed to like root hard. Like you can't get that excited when we get a last-second touchdown. Then, right? Like.
So he's not going to get
excited.
I don't do
You're
it
not
now.
going to get excited.
Hey, dude, Captain Matt, man, fourth quarter, it's dagger time, dude.
Yeah, I'll be Captain Matt. I'll be excited. My theory is him getting traded to Jacksonville.
Yeah, sorry, man. Yeah.
He's going to bring dagger time down south.
Yeah, dagger time down south. There you go. Well, so what would I do if okay. So what if we got Trevor Lawrence and traded Matt Stafford to the Jaguars, and it's Trevor Lawrence time, and he just leads us. He
eventually get lionized, and just like everybody else. And
that's well.
What about you? I know we've talked about this before. You've got a young son. What
I don't know, man.
What are you gonna do, man?
That's a good question. Are
you gonna screw him like my father screwed me?
I do actually root for the Steelers as well because my family's from Pittsburgh and they're all big Steelers fans. And I used to love the Bus back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
And, he's from Detroit. Yeah. So I've always kind of been a Pittsburgh fan. So I do openly root for them, too. I've always have done that. I don't have any Pittsburgh gear or anything. I'd probably never wear Pittsburgh gear, but I'm not like that anyways. I don't have a lot of sports stuff, as you guys know. Like you guys, Tom always has a lot.
Oh, my whole outfit, man. My whole wardrobe is sports stuff.
So that's the other team that I do root for is the Steelers.
They're a good team. They're a good, solid team.
Yeah.
Good.
I like tough defenses, and they've always had tough defenses.
Yeah. I'm with you, Joe. I've always liked Steelers, man. Mm-hmm. I always pick a team around mid-October. Like, once the Lions are done, I always got a second team to go for. I try to do it but there's teams that I just like,
Yeah.
Steelers are always one of them, man. I've always liked the Steelers. I love the Eagles. So I just love Philly. Like, their fans are just so mean and ferocious and, like, just mad as hell all the time. Like, they threw snowballs at Santa, that's just funny to me. Plus, I love the show. It's always
you there, and they're picking on.
Yeah.
It's you in your Lions gear.
Yeah. Oh, I wouldn't. I know. Could you imagine going to a game in Philly?
They fought one of their basketball players, remember? Did you guys see that?
No, what?
Yeah. one of their basketball players.
Oh, I know what you're talking. Yeah,
went
a couple
to,
years ago.
He had a Redskins jersey on because he's probably from there, and he went to a party and
he was actually he was playing. Oh, God, I forget his name. I know that story. He was playing for the 76ers. So I think his girlfriend brought him to a game or something, and they ended up fighting him.
But he was on Philly. Yeah, he was on their Philly basketball team. The 76ers.
God,
and
I remember
he was
that
almost
story.
fighting the fans. He had to leave because the fans were attacking him.
Yep.
That's Philly fans right there. Yeah, isn't that that was a crazy story? I seen that on something one time. It's like
guys.
typical Philly, you know.
Yeah. There's a few of them though, because there's some just franchise even Kansas City's like historic, and I enjoyed watching Kansas City. I love what they're doing. I love the fact that Andy Reid went from Philly to Kansas City, and then he got a ring. He had such a hard time in Philly, just not like getting to the Super Bowl or winning all those games and having so many great moments, but never getting like the full glory.
Yeah.
And then they canned him. He's like, well, guess what? I'm gonna go over here. I'm gonna give me Patrick Mahomes, and I'm gonna show y'all. And he got his ring, man. I loved it, man. I loved seeing that. But no, I never. But that's it for me, guys. I'll never. Like I said, I tried it once with Carolina, and it just ain't the same. It never will be. I can't just have another team. Your scenario is nice, though, Dan. If Stafford gets traded, I'm definitely going to follow it because I am a Stafford fan.
It's far-fetched. It's obviously a complete hypothetical, but it came to mind, and I'm like, if that happened, if Stafford got traded, I would seriously consider dropping the Lions and being just a full-fledged Jaguar fan because I love the ownership. I love the ownership compared to how much I hate the ownership of the Lions.
If the Jaguars and Lions met, oh god, it would be in the playoff. Yeah, because Jaguars it
would be the Super Bowl.
Yeah. They're in the AFC. Yeah,
the Lions aren't making the Super Bowl. So
no, I'm just saying though, like if.
You and your what if this happens?
I know, what if this?
It was a fun hypothetical.
But no, I'm saying what if though? Like if that whole scenario played out, and like the Lions drafted Trevor Lawrence, and they traded Matt Stafford, and Stafford's on the Jaguars, and Trevor Lawrence, is leading the Lions or whoever with the Lions, but if the Lions met up with the Jaguars in the Super Bowl, like in your heart.
I don't know, Tom. I didn't give it that much thought. I just thought it was interesting.
I know, but this is what I'm saying. Because you'll never lose the love for your Lions. You grew up with it. You were born a Lions fan, and your family ingrained it into you. And you've been kicked in the nuts so many times that you just became numb to it. But if it really broke down, I wondered what you would do. I bet you'd root for the Lions, but that'd be a crazy scenario, though, man. If Stafford was playing against the Lions in the Super Bowl, I know we're getting off the rails here, man. Yeah. This is ridiculous. I can't believe these words are coming out of my mouth. Jaguars Lions Super Bowl, 2025.
Well, let's get back to what the Lions are now. And they go to Green Bay.
Oh, God. See, this
House of Horrors.
Sorry, guys. I was actually I was hoping we would just wrap it up before we had to talk about next week.
They got an easy matchup, though.
Yeah, a nice little easy matchup against Aaron Rodgers, who...
place where they've had so much success.
Yeah. Well, in the past few years, they've had...
No, not really. Go back to last year.
Well,
what happened there?
Well, they finally beat him after 20 years.
They've had better recent success against Green Bay and at Green Bay than they have in the past.
Compared to 20.
Yeah.
Well,
20 straight losses.
Aaron Rodgers is healthy, and he looked damn good last week.
And our secondary already wasn't that good, and they are damn not healthy. Justin Coleman on IR. Our third pick in the draft doesn't suit up week 1. Who knows if he's even going to play? Jeff Okudah, hey man, hopefully you could play and hopefully you could suit up because you're about to get lionized.
They drafted you to be a lockdown corner. Can you go ahead and cover Devontae Adams now?
Yeah.
Your first game of the year, first game of your career.
Yeah.
No preseason games or anything. First game of your career. Who needs Devontae Adams?
Who needs Quandre Diggs? Who needs Darius Slay? We'll let those two go, and we'll pick up this injury-prone. Oh man, we'll pay too much money for this injury-prone cornerback. Who, guess what? Got hurt in the first game and may or may not be able to go and Desmond Trufant.
You're getting choked up over there.
Yeah,
man.
right,
Because,
Get away.
dude, I just because I'm seeing this in my head, man.
Just
All
seeing
right.
the bombs just going from Rodgers.
Just dagger time. Rogers throwing daggers after dagger after dagger.
all game.
With Patricia still not trying to rush the quarterback.
Yeah.
Let's not rush Aaron Rodgers. Let's not flush him out of the
No,
pocket.
if we give him time, he'll throw a bad.
Yeah.
If we give him a lot of time, he'll throw a bad throw.
All right, guys. All right.
Somebody's gonna jump a route and get an interception like I did 5 years ago when I made that great call.
Here's my prediction. It's gonna be freaking ugly. That's my prediction, man.
Yeah, I think Rodgers
You're
is
gonna get the
pissed.
Mr. T prediction. Pain.
Yeah. Pain. My prediction is pain.
Okay, Mr. T.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's what I think. I think nothing good. I think if you guys if you're a Lion slappy and a fantasy idiot like I am, and you went high on Matt Stafford, you might get some luck because he's gonna have to throw the ball 150 times this week.
Well,
We might get Galladay back, which would be nice. So I think this game, and if you look at what the Packers and Vikings did last week, they put up like 70 points combined or something,
Yeah.
80 almost maybe. I think you're going to see something very similar. I think it's just going to be a lot more lopsided. I think it's going to be more like a 45-24 type of deal. Because like you said, Dan, I think this offense can be really good, and especially if you plug in Galladay.
77 points.
That's what the Packers and Vikings put up. Yeah, dude, what a shootout.
can you look up real quick and see what the over/under is?
The
Good
over-under.
question.
Yeah, for the Lions
this week,
Packers. Yeah.
Lions Packers.
You mentioned that the Lions are gonna have to throw the ball a bunch of times. Like their philosophy should be to try to get the ball on the ground. Like you saw what Adrian Peterson did
things down,
and slow the game down and control the ball and keep Aaron Rodgers off the field.
Yep.
And the way Adrian Peterson looked last week, like maybe they can do that. Maybe they can control the ball a little bit, and Adrian Peterson can run the ball, maybe get over 100 yards this week, and they can control it. And then if Kenny Gallay's playing, then you can get play action and throw the ball over the top and get it to him, maybe some deep balls.
Dan, while he's looking that up, let me ask you this.
It's 47.5 is what I got right now.
47.5. Hey, look, everybody,
Hey, go
go to mybookie.com right now.
Use promo code the sit down, get your extra bonus cash, and put it down on the
Bet
over.
the over.
Yeah.
Because Green Bay might break that themselves.
Yeah. Now, listen, Dan, I want to know, though, if it comes down to the wire, and the Lions are on the 1 yard line
Jesus.
with 5 seconds left, down by 5.
I'll tell you what I'm going to do.
Do you give the ball to Adrian
No.
Peterson?
What I do is I take out Adrian Peterson. Kenny Galladay's in the game. I take out Kenny Galladay. Oh, I take out Marvin Jones, baby. And I put in 3 tight ends. And I throw it to the number 3 tight end. That's what I'm doing. That's the key to success.
That's the play.
Dan, why does that sound so familiar?
Yeah.
I think there's an offensive coordinator somewhere that made that call. I don't know. Could it be Bevel?
It feels so familiar. It feels like I'm getting kicked in the nuts again, man. That feeling is so familiar, man.
Yeah.
With that call. Oh. All right.
It's fun bringing up those great memories, isn't it?
It is ridiculous how you think back about it.
Hey man,
Like,
hey, whatever doesn't kill you, right?
Yeah. Yeah, really.
Just make it so it hurt a little bit less the next time it happens.
And that's the play caller, Patricia, that won the Super Bowl against that guy,
Yeah.
the great play caller.
So if that scenario does happen, does Patricia run over to Belvin and say, "Hey, make sure the guy on the inside doesn't jump the route"? That's what I would do.
Yeah. So how much do we think the Lions are going to win by?
Yeah. So none, man. Okay, so my prediction is Aaron Rodgers is going to throw for 17 touchdowns, 575 yards.
That's it?
Can you get 17 touchdowns off of 500 yards?
I'm sure it's possible.
It's probably
Anything's possible.
Yeah. It's got to be somewhere around that, though.
Well, what's his name had 450 this week? Matt Ryan, so. And he only had 3, I think.
Yeah.
That's only 100 more.
Hey, seriously, my prediction is that I think the Lions' offense I don't think the Packers' defense is that good. I think Stafford will be able to throw the ball. I think there will be some ground control. I think AP is a nice addition, and we're going to see some of that ground control, getting first downs. If Galladay does play, it just makes things even better. I think the Lions' offense will show up. I think the Lions' defense is really, really bad right now, and even worse with these injuries in the secondary. And I think Rodgers is going to have a freaking field day. My honest prediction is Packers 45, Lions 30.
Yeah, definitely go to my bookie and bet the over, because I agree with not that high of a score, but I do think it is going to be a high-scoring affair. Both defenses aren't the best. And obviously, if I think the Lions will lose, I think it will probably be like 35-24, something like that. If Galladay plays, it'll probably be the same score. I don't see much. I mean, obviously Galladay is good; he'll help, but I just don't see them able to outscore Rodgers.
Yeah.
Rodgers is pissed this year, especially with them drafting Love.
What about playing with
He's
fire?
Pissed.
I wonder if the league, because you've heard about like dissension between the head coach and Rodgers, and
I don't know if it's so much dissension between the head coach, but it might be the front office. I think it's more the front office, because they haven't drafted receivers for years for him.
Yeah.
And that's what he's been so frustrated about. Is they haven't given him well, I shouldn't say they haven't given him talent, but they haven't drafted, receivers in the first round to go for him.
And this was
frustrating.
in that draft,
It's a no-brainer to get him a wide receiver this year.
Especially with so many talented ones up there. And it looked like a complete slap in the face to Aaron Rodgers. And how do you do that to a Super Bowl champion? But he also he sat behind Brett Favre for 3 years, and then he watched how the Packers did Brett Favre. Are the Packers just doing what the Packers do, and they drafted a quarterback only for the future? But you don't do that in the first round.
Yeah, that was the difference. He fell to them. They moved up to get Love.
Yeah, that's the other thing. They moved.
That's
up.
true.
It's a little
It
different.
was a slap
It's
in the
pretty
face. When
similar.
they could have got a weapon. They could have given him a weapon. But maybe that's how organizations that know what they're doing
Continue to
stay
be great.
relevant.
Stay great.
Yes. Now, if you're Rodgers, I'm pissed off.
Yeah, for sure.
But if you're a Packers fan, that's a good question to ask a Packers fan, what they really thought about that first round pick.
I think it was a year too
early.
early, especially when you win as far as you did, and you're pretty much a wide receiver away from winning.
Yeah,
I think you could have waited one more
You put
year
a
to
monster across from Devontae Adams, and you let Rodgers just sling the
They
ball.
could win the Super Bowl, if they done.
Because there were a couple of them, man. I
still
can't
could.
remember.
Yeah,
True.
true.
Yeah. But you had a bunch of there's a lot of receivers that were picked in the first, second, even third round right now that are going to start. That are starting this week and are going to be real stars. And the Packers could have got one of them.
Yeah.
Instead, they drafted a quarterback. So, future will tell. Time will tell how that plays out. Because obviously, Rodgers, he's getting long in the tooth, man. But judging by last Sunday, he ain't going nowhere.
Looked great. I mean, he looked like the old Rodgers. I mean, he was
for
moving
sure.
around in the pocket, making throws on the run. And he looked fantastic. And I think it was kind of the consensus kind of around the league and around fans and everybody was like, Rodgers
Slowing
kind of
down,
lost a few
lost
steps, and
yeah.
he's not the same quarterback he used to be, man. Like you said, man, he looked pissed off, and he's playing pissed
He's
off,
on
and
fire.
he looks
fired up.
great. He looks great, and he's just going to drop bombs on the
He
Lions.
is.
And
It's going to be a bloodbath.
I'll say 42-28. 42-28 Green Bay. I think it'll be a fun game to watch. I think it'll be competitive, but ultimately the Green Bay's just going to be too tough. Rodgers is going to be too much, and man, you better pray that Kenny Galladay and Jeff Okudah play this game, because if both of them are out
Okudah plays
and show something,
he's an all-pro.
to jump in right away and be a lockdown corner. But he's drafted third.
Yeah.
He's drafted third overall. If he's healthy,
man.
he's got to be able to jump in and at least contribute.
It's such a jump from
It
college
is.
to the pro, especially a cornerback. That's a tough position, man. Cornerback's a tough position, especially in the NFL. We're going to see, man. I don't know.
I think it's pretty much a consensus that we're going to get destroyed. The Lions are going to get destroyed this week.
And
So the
they're
other
not
thing
necessarily
is-
destroyed, but their
well,
defense is going to get destroyed. It's a
now-
question of whether their offense can put up the points to hang with
Well,
it.
look, because this is the Lions, I will say go to mybookie.com and bet the money line on the Lions because this is the Lions, and the Lions might do what the Lions do, and just
not bet
beat
the Lions.
beat the Packers.
If you're going to bet this game, do not touch the line. Just take the over.
Yeah.
That's
And
where
do
the
it
bet
as
is.
early as possible.
Because it's going to keep going.
It's going to go up. It's going to go up for sure.
I don't know what to expect, man. I mean, I know what to expect. It's written on the wall. But we've seen these things before, man. We've seen the Lions come back and win
pull you
games they
back in.
shouldn't win, and pull you right back in and be like, "Oh, last week was just a fluke," and now Patricia's got it together. This team rallied around the loss. DeAndre Swift has 3 touchdowns, 150 yards, and
We need to cut that Kool-Aid off. You've had enough today.
I mean, that could all happen, just not them winning. I don't see them winning. I see the offense could be great. They could put up all kinds of stats, but that defense is not going to stop anybody.
Yep.
the defense is just so not good. And that's what it was supposed to be with Matt Patricia, the
defensive guru.
The defensive guru. This defense is going to be amazing. Yeah. But it's not.
Still
and now the
haven't
whole
seen it.
secondary, a secondary that was already at middle of the road at best, is all hurt. It's going to be rough, man. But hey, you know what? It's 2020, and we weren't even sure if we were going to get football.
We're breaking down games. We're previewing games. It's good to be back in the saddle again with all
It's a
this.
beautiful thing, fellas. So we're going to leave it there. For Joe Perry, for Dan Murphy, my name is Tom Murphy Jr. This is the Detroit Sports Sit Down, and we are so glad to be back and be talking football. We're going to be here every week, breaking down the Lions, talking about the NFL, and, it's just, it's so much fun. So glad to be back. So glad we got football. I hope all you guys out there stay happy and healthy. Should I say go Lions? We're still
Yeah, go Lions.
all right.
Don't say it's so exciting over there, Dan. He's like, yeah, go Lions.
I guess.
We have to. They're our team.
Yeah. Oh, my God. Why was I born a Lions fan? All right, ladies and gentlemen, go Lions. This is the Detroit Sports Sit Down. Peace.